Alright guys, so I promised you all a second video, and I was thinking about what to do it on, and I think the best thing I can do is probably something in the terms of what to invest, or where to invest if you only have $100, $1,000, whatever amount you have that may be a smaller bag to yourself, if you're not as risk adverse as others. How to look at Tomb Forks in general and see plays that are undervalued. And I'm going to explain why Snowy is undervalued to the best of my ability, and also Fox, and kind of what you would do with a smaller bag. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm on the Snowy Owl homepage, and whenever you get into a Tomb Fork, what you want to do is look at the peg token, and then the share token, and you want to look at the homepage first. And this is past all the Genesis. That's got to be another video of how to play the Genesis pools. But if we look here, we can look at how much snow is emitted. We can see a circulating supply of 1.1 million. So that's partly to do with, if you don't know, the peg token does not get inflated unless the boardroom prints and the peg token is over the pegged coin. So ours is Joe. We have Snow pegged to it. As long as Snow is above Joe, then our boardroom will print at these APRs that we have. I'll just unlock it real quick. So obviously our APR is high because a lot of people have unstaked because we haven't printed for some days. But we did print for about 21 days, and we are printing pretty well. But every single time that prints, we're inflating Snow. And what that's going to do is eventually drop the price as it did. Now, some other things occurred in Snow that would cause it to go under peg. Of course, we lost some investors from that. But if you're looking to invest in a new fork, please do your due diligence on if it's a good spot to be in, and that it's trustworthy. Look at the communities, and in my opinion, look for, unless you're full on DGen, but I'm trying to speak to people that may have smaller bags that aren't as risk adverse as others, or don't want to risk it. Look for mature forks that have been running for some time, that are post Genesis and have had time to stabilize with their prices. Check their discords. If I go into Snowy Owl right now, I'm obviously a mod there, and you guys see me all the time. But it's a good place to be, and that's what I wanted for new investors. but check in there. It's a good spot to be in when you're investing in a Tomb Fork, to see, ask questions, see how people respond to you. I've been in Discord communities where the mods were complete asswipes, and I don't like that, and I don't usually invest in those projects. But those are things that you have to look at you have to look at the overall picture whenever you're investing in Tomb Forks, because you could see something that's undervalued, or you see something that used to be $100, now it's $5, and if you don't understand the dynamics of what's happening, then you're going to get wrecked, especially in Tomb Forks. Most people want to invest in the share token, and they don't look at the peg token. Now, it depends how you want to play. If you want to be part of the community and try and help, make sure that you have LP. And if you don't know what any of that stuff means, I explained it in my last video for Tomb Forks 101, so I'm going to try and speak and not explain myself so much. But our peg token is under. Anybody that ever comes in, I would always ask that you would invest in the peg token, because we have some ground to cover there before we start printing again, which is what attracts more investors. And the reason that attracts more investors is because the share token becomes more valuable. Obviously, ours is sitting at 5, where our previous all-time highs were 200s, and the boardroom starts printing, so people know that. So they pre-invest in these whenever we get close to peg, and that's what drives it up. So it really depends what kind of investing you want to do. But I'm going to speak towards having $100 invested in Snowy Owl. Where would you put it? Where would it be most beneficial? And how would you play it? Now, if this was before we lost peg, I would be explaining it to you different. But we aren't at peg, so let me go ahead and say that some projects never reach peg again. I don't think that for Snowy, but some don't. So if you're investing in them, and you see shares at a ridiculously low price, there's a reason for that. It's because a lot of people jump ship to try and save peg, or they just left the investment. So if I only had $100, if you put it in that snow share, I mean, it's going to be around $5 till we hit peg again anyway. So why wouldn't you work with everybody else to try and get to peg? And the best thing you can do when it's under, if you're involved in the community, would be to buy snow and single stake it. And you can do that. And I would recommend compounding it. And the reason I recommend compounding is because it adds buying pressure, and it also compounds your position. And if you don't know what auto compounding is, it pretty much takes your rewards from the regular farming page, and then sells them, and then buys back your snow token, and constantly adds to it every single day. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Let me connect my wallet and show you. And if we go to AVAX, and there's the snow. Now this one's for the Arctic Fox, which is the one I'm going to speak on for new investors that are looking for newer Tune Forks that want to invest $100 and kind of my best play. And you do have to look at all of it. So this video may drag on just a hair, but Snow Fox is giving you 2% daily. In DGen terms, 2% may seem small, but you have no risk right now, in my opinion, at buying at these levels. If you look at the chart, we've been price ranging for some days now, right at these levels, and we're at the under part of it at 36 cents when we're trying to reach up here towards the dollar mark. So buying at these levels is great when you're getting 2% interest with little to no risk. With me at the helm trying to put us back in the swing of things and get us back to peg. You're really not at a lot of risk, and you're gaining a lot. But I think there's something even better. Now, if I had $100 and I was about to invest in our project here, the best thing for me would be this layer 2. There's a lot of farms that are available, but the one that's most enticing for me is this Fox Snow. That means you get exposure to both layers. You're getting the peg token from layer 1 and the peg token from layer 2, and you're compounding it. And if I'm not mistaken, they're pretty high. So it says 5.2%. It must have dropped because, if you don't know, these farms here drop whenever the share token drops. So Fox Share has came down from about $100. We've been slow grinding down to about 53. Even though we're printing, TVL is just not there for Tune Forks right now. So that's why you're seeing a drop in price. But let's see what it says here. So 13%. Now, it really depends which one's accurate. You're going to see a lot of discrepancies between Yield Wolf and the actual ones, but it's the same farm, and it offers the same APR plus just a little bit extra because it's adding on to itself every day. So that's why you'll see different prices there. But if I personally was about to get into this with $100, the most upside right now would probably be the Fox Snow, and that's because it can compound. It's working for the project on both layers, trying to keep the peg token up, adding constant pressure to buying with Yield Wolf. So in my personal opinion, what I would do is probably, because $100 is kind of a smaller bag, you're not going to see a lot of big returns. You want to compound it so that it gains substantially. Now, if you just put it in one of these farms, you're not going to be compounding it. You're going to be getting shares, which is fine if that's what you want to do, and then put them in the boardroom and rinse and repeat. But this one is kind of a hands-off approach where you don't have to constantly go after it, take the share token, sell it, and then buy something new. Now, if you're more of an active investor, sure, go ahead and do that. But if you want $100, you want to put it in with the most potential upside. Snow's supposed to be coming back up, and Fox will sit around right where it's at, which is about $2-3. So, in my opinion, it's the best place to personally park about $100. Now, if you're looking for $1,000, is when you can start kind of splitting it up. So if I had $1,000, I would do something a little different. I would still mainly keep about 50 to 60% in the Fox Snow LP, but I would actually keep it in this farm, and I would get the rewards, and I would start putting them in the boardroom. And then every single 6 hours, you're going to get a reward based on this, divided by 365, and then divided by 4 to get your per epoch rewards. So I'm sure it's currently around like 10%. So whatever you have in here, say you had $1,000 in here, you're going to get $100 every every day. So that's how it works. And then you can take that Fox, sell a little bit of it to keep for yourself, and then of course you can start investing it in other places. And you can start making your own Fox Joe LP and start compounding those rewards much faster. Of course, with a $1,000 bag. So I would do probably to start off about 60% in this Fox Joe or Fox Snow, I'm sorry, and then go to your boardroom and buy about 40% worth of the Fox shares, and then start accruing that Fox and accruing the Fox shares, and then you can start making those and marrying them together and moving them around as you see fit across the entire project. Of course, I'd love to see people start single staking Snow, because if this doesn't succeed, then others will fall, and by that I mean other farms will fall short. So if you're just sitting there zapping liquidity, you're going to get a week worth of farming rather than a potential of a potential of 60 days worth of emissions worth of farming. And that's part of that APR chase. And I think a couple even rug today. I get it, but we're getting really, really big returns in this project. The charts are really healthy, and we have the community to drive this back up forward. So there's a ton of potential upside right now, and currently investing in Snow layer 1 and also investing in layer 2 and letting those rewards compound. I think it's really a really good play, and that's not just me saying that because I'm a part of the team. I'm heavily invested in Snow. I think it's one of the best plays right now because we have high emissions. We're offering higher APRs, and they're pretty sustainable. Minus the community panic we sometimes see here, and that was due to a lot of other things. But yeah, so I'm sure I kind of babbled on and had no formula for this video, but I did want to put something else out that was educational for people that wanted to invest that may not have known what to do with those smaller bags. Again, when you're very short in cash, try and focus on one area with the most benefit to yourself until you can get a bigger bag, and then you can start dispersing it across the project. Because if you have $100 and you spread it $20 here, $20 there, it's not going to be as good. But if you go for a week of $100 and you're getting 10%, well, by the end of that week you're going to be at a substantial high, and as long as the prices stay stable, of course, or don't go up, then you're going to have a position where you can start moving it and evolving that into a much more diverse play, and able to take a lot more profit off. But again, if I were anybody that was investing in any of these projects, please, for your own secure bags, take out your return of interest as fast as possible. And I don't mean dump your bags every day, but I'm saying take out the 20 to 25%, whatever you're comfortable with. Get your money off the table, and I promise you the emotions come down a lot whenever you start losing money. Because inevitably most of these fall short for a stint of time before the community rallies and picks it back up. So right now, in my opinion, Fox share heavily undervalued at $53. It's insane that it's at these levels again. Of course, it bounced right off its previous bottom of $49, and it's currently going back up a little bit. I think part of that's due to just no TVL coming back in right now, and we're obviously working on that. But we've obviously price ranged for some days here at these levels, and I think it's a really safe buy to buy Fox shares right now with a lot of potential upside, because our emissions are slower. There's not as many getting farmed right now. So in my opinion, Fox shares are a really good play. Obviously Fox will eventually try and come down to $1. I hope it has the same run that Snowy did and emits for 20 days without ever going under EPOT or ever going under TWAP. But I can't tell the future. Obviously, Snow, in my opinion, is a really safe, high upside play, and that's not going to change. I always feel like that. I have most of my position is in single stake Snow, but that's because I want to benefit everybody that holds, and I like making the sacrifice so that others feel more confident in their plays. But even past that, past the martyr approach, I do see a lot of value in Snow right now with where it's currently at. So yeah, that's kind of my video. I know it's not as formulated as it could be, and I'll try and make them a little bit more charismatic in the future, where I have a little bit more of a script or something to be able to teach. a little more dedicated than just speaking. I know currently it's kind of like one of my Ask Me Anythings, but at least it's a video. Hopefully somebody gains some value out of it. And thank you for watching.